We are always going to see the doctor. Every now and then we go and ask for some tests when we have a cold, when we are feeling pain in the body, and we get treatment to cure the symptoms. But then someone says that we should be treating the root cause, not the systems. This is Now Tell Us. I'm your host, Anthony Morore. Today we have a guest with us who is going to tell us exactly that. And her name is a very beautiful name, Magic Barclay. And she's going to be here shortly. I remind you to share this episode with all your friends. And if you have a comment, we welcome every feedback. If you have a question as we are going on, welcome too. We'll appreciate. And now, without taking one more minute, I'll ask you to join me as we go together to meet our guest today, Magic Barclay. Here we go. Hello, Magic.
Hello, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming to Now Tell Us. It's an
Pleasure.
honor. It's an honor. Now, let's start with your name. Who gave you that name? It's a beautiful one.
It was my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw things in me that I didn't see in myself, and
Okay.
now I just try to live up to it.
Oh, it's a challenge when you're given a beautiful name
It
at birth
is.
and you've got to live to it,
That's right.
at par. And I believe that you're doing something good. I can see even from the background that you have some beautiful things going on. So you're living to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where are you?
So I am just outside Melbourne in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and currently, as we're recording this, it's the end of summer, start of autumn, which is fall. And yeah, so it's nice and warm still, but yes,
Oh,
winter's
where I am, we are exchanging the seasons with you. It's spring very soon, and I love it. I love spring, and then comes summer.
definitely.
Uh-huh. Now, is that where you were born and grew?
Yes, so I was born in Australia. I was born in Melbourne, so now I live a little bit further out. And I've traveled around the world a little bit. And yeah, this is home.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And um, what do you do, if I may ask?
Okay, so I'm in functional health. So I treat the systems of the body rather than chasing symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doctor and I don't profess to be, but I do coach my clients through natural health and what the earth can provide and what their bodies are telling them.
And how did you come to this?
It was through my own journey. So I had been fighting multiple terminal conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just felt like something was missing. The doctors weren't telling me what I needed and wanted to hear. And I didn't like the prognosis I was being given. So I started looking at other ways and really going back to what my grandfather did. So he was an alchemist, he was a compounding pharmacist, and he always taught me as a child that the earth will provide. And I know that makes me and him sound like hippies, but he's right. Plants can offer so much medicine. Your thoughts can offer so much medicine. Your food can offer so much medicine. And I think we've really lost those old ways. So that's what I try and teach my clients is, before you reach for a capsule or a pill or a medication, ask yourself, first of all, is this going to do me extra harm? I'm not against all medications. I just want to put that out there. But, what can the earth do that has no side effects? What can I do first to heal myself?
weren't our parents so bright? I mean, they knew everything. They knew the plant to eat, the plant not to. They knew how to stay healthy. And I grew up experiencing the kind of things that you're mentioning here. I had a father who knew about every root in the village and what it does to the body. How did they come to this? I don't know. I can't tell. But they.
Well, it was through years of learning what the land can teach us. And
Mhm,
every Indigenous culture still has this knowledge. And, something as a white person who's now in her 50s, I wasn't really raised on that. Like my grandfather, used a lot of herbs and my grandmother used a lot of foods, but it was very removed. We originally came from Russia. It's often hard to grow things there. But, their information was very removed. Whereas I look at some friends that I have now who are Indigenous Australians, and their knowledge is still so current and so true. And, I can go in the bush with them and they can show me 5 things that are great to eat or 2 things that are great medicine. So I really think we need to go back to that original knowledge. And I try to get my clients onto some sort of nature healing. Sometimes it's not always possible, but I will try and do that where I can.
Yeah, and for every illness, there is a cure out there, and we've got to know, if not the cure, then what's the prevention? What should I eat? And the world has really changed very fast, and is going to the it's going south every single day. I mean, what people eat, the way they spend their days. I mean, it's a dangerous curve.
It is. We've really lost the ability to entertain ourselves. Just before coming on this podcast, I was applying for another podcast and it's actually about millennials. I thought, what can I offer? And then I actually realized I am a 70s and 80s child. I come from the time when I could entertain myself without any electricity.
Mm,
I could find things to do to fill my day and give me joy that didn't require being locked in my own home. So I think, we do have the responsibility to turn back time a little bit. The world is crazy now.
mhm,
And we need to put our phones down. That's one step towards our own health. And to start really looking at what we can do that's healthy, that's fun, and that doesn't harm anyone else.
yeah, we will keep learning. Now, I am thinking of this gap that we have between those people who knew everything to do with the forest, and I can't imagine you going into the jungle and gathering some. Do you actually do that?
I do.
Now,
Yeah, I do.
my question is, because there's such a big gap there between those who knew it all and we who are trying to find out, how was it gathering that information, learning, and how was it for you? Wasn't it so difficult to get to gather all that information and know this is what is going to work for me and for them?
Yeah, look, it's a constant learning experience. So for me, getting started was really hard, but I surround myself with people who do medicinal gardening. I
Okay.
surround myself with people who do permaculture. I've done my own permaculture design certification. And, so I really look at how can we reduce the toxic footprint that we have? What steps can we do? And you know what? You don't have to be an alchemist. You don't have to be a medicinal gardener to be able to get started. There's ways and means that you can do no matter where you are on your journey of learning to take steps towards more natural health. And it might just be reducing the toxicity in your home. That might be your first step. It might be doing a liver detox. So I run a functional liver and lifestyle detox, which covers all of that. And that's a great first step because
Mhm.
you're going to learn how to replace chemicals in your home with things like essential oil based cleaners that you can make yourself. You can get your family to help you make because they're safe to touch, safe to inhale. It doesn't matter if the kids are helping you and they put their fingers in their mouth, it's not going to hurt them.
Mm.
So, it starts with just taking small steps, little steps, and then immerse yourself in, you know, the culture around you. No matter where you live in the world, there'll be some Indigenous people. Go to them and say, I want to learn. I want to know. I want to respect what nature is around me, what nature has to teach me. And so, no matter where you are in the world, there will be someone that wants to teach you, that wants that knowledge to stay alive.
What are some of the basic DIYs that you could give us some examples in the home that I can start doing tonight that is going to make a difference in my life?
Sure. Well, you know what? A great bench cleaner is uh, vinegar, any vinegar, it doesn't really matter. Apple
Mm.
cider vinegar or white vinegar are the best, but with a tiny touch of bicarb and a little bit of essential oil in it. And that's going to clean your bench. It's going to clean your oven. It's going to clean everything. Uh, rather than nasty floor cleaners, put a little bit of lemon juice in water. Clean your floor with that.
Mm.
If you've got pets, it's okay. It's safe for them rather than using, Pino Clean or whatever the brand is in your country, and then your cats and dogs walk on it and then lick their paws. Do you really want that?
Mm.
Do we even think that far ahead? We clean our floors with a floor cleaner. Do we even think that our pets are now ingesting that? And
Mm.
not to mention, then the cat goes and walks on the bench, and that floor cleaner that has a poisonous "do not ingest, do not swallow" label on it is now on your bench where you prepare food. So start replacing things like that as best you can. And there's so many resources on the internet to start with things like that, but really, lemon juice and vinegar are your all rounders. They'll clean your shower, they'll clean the floor, the bench, whatever, and they're safe for you.
Mm. And it's good that you started there because all along I was thinking that we are going to be dealing with things to eat and drink and but then you now start on cleaning the bench, start on checking your environment, not even on yourself. What do you touch, what do you use for cleaning? I mean, those things are important, and I agree with you because it's those little things that we do on a daily basis that add up to big things in life. That's what I always believe.
Totally. Look at, you could eat the cleanest food in the world,
Mm.
but if you're eating it in a toxic home, that's still going to be toxicity for you. So, I teach my kids to grow food. They have their own containers. They're older kids now, but they have their own containers they're responsible for. And, one will grow perfect carrots and one will grow carrots that are little bit curled up. And he'll say, "What did I do wrong?" You haven't done anything wrong. You've just maybe not given them enough space. You maybe
Mm.
haven't given them enough water. Think about it next time, re-sow, try again. And I think we have to tell ourselves this. We haven't done anything wrong.
Mm.
It's a matter of learning as you go. And so every step that you take is a step forward.
Yeah. And the the problem is not making a mistake. The problem is staying with a mistake, not learning from it and correcting and doing something better.
Exactly. I was doing some lives on Facebook this week. So
Okay.
I'm in a group and it's takeover week. And so I've taken over as the host. And one of the talks I did the other day was the top three mistakes in a permaculture garden. And the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I said was, there is no such thing as a mistake. It's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true in our health. It's true in our lives, in our homes. Nothing's truly a mistake. It's a learning opportunity. And certainly for me with my health, where I'd gotten to wasn't a mistake or wasn't it a series of mistakes. It was a series of learning opportunities.
Mm. And now, do we eliminate every chemical? Because we talked about what you wipe your bench with. Do we eliminate every chemical in the home, like what I wash my clothes with? What tell us? And
Well,
let
you
me,
can.
yeah, let me give you as an example of. because I understand what you're saying, is that I wash dishes, I cook, I do all those things. So I got used to washing dishes at some point, and I discovered that my hands were changing, only to realize that is the soap that I was using that was kind of, uh, I mean, I don't know what chemical they were using. And I asked myself, because everything that you wash is not 100% guarantee that you remove every substance, every chemical from the plate, from the spoon. So a part of this ends up in my system. And what is it doing? If it's doing this to my hands, what's it is it doing it to my system?
It's doing a lot to your system. So the first thing that has to happen is your liver has to see the chemical and it has to know what to do with it.
Mm,
So, you know, your liver categorizes everything that comes in and out of your body, and it's working 24/7 to do that, even while you're asleep. So
mm-hmm,
your liver has to see the chemical and it has to know, how can I eliminate this? How can I try and stop this from causing damage all the way through? And
mm,
so then it has to call other chemicals into action. They could be natural internal chemicals, but that kind of action isn't going to be good for you. So, what can you wash your dishes with? Well, you can start with some bicarb in water and then rinse it with vinegar. You know, there's a lot of things that we can do. We can use essential oils. A lot of essential oils are antimicrobial. So
mm,
you could add some lavender oil to the tub of water with a little bit of bicarb in there and, you know, wash that way and then rinse it off with diluted vinegar and water so that you're getting the oily sheen off your dishes. You know, there's a start. I think, you know, we have to think back to, what are we now? It's 2023 as we're recording this.
yeah.
Okay, so in the 1950s, that's when dish soap really became a thing.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, because before that, they were using soap flakes. Now,
mm,
soap flakes come from many different plants. We have soap bush here in Australia. You know, there's companies that do soap nuts around the world.
okay.
And so you can put those in a cage. They're from a tree, put those in a cage, swish them in the water, and you've got soapy water. We have to think back, where did soap come from? Because, you know, as little as 70 years ago, dish soap wasn't a thing. And when
Mm,
it was a thing, it certainly wasn't as toxic as it can be now. So, you know, I think we just have to kind of step back in time a little bit and say, but where did this originate? And I try and do that with medications as well. So, you know, I've got this medication, but where did that originate? What plant does it come from?
mm,
What properties were discovered to create this?
mm-hmm,
So it's a matter of just taking a step back every now and then and saying, well, where did this start?
yeah. And mentioning that you're gonna find out what made this medicine. And when we come to discover that all medicine is made from a source, and if it's made from a source, can I get to that source and use that source instead of uh, consuming something that is, I don't know. You can tell us better because you've got the experience and the research.
So, okay, there's a popular medicine at the moment around the world. I'm not going to say it because we'll get taken off air. But there's a popular medicine around the world and actually comes from a herb, and that herb provides leaf, which can become a tea. Now, this is just one example. Why wouldn't you go to the plant, to the herb, and make the tea rather than take the medication, which is fully synthetic now, but was originated from the plant?
Mm,
So, you know, there's just things like that. And it's just a matter of learning, no matter where you are in the world, what is indigenous to your land, what grows well, and what was it used for. And so, you know, it comes back to immersing yourself in learning about where you live. And like here in Australia, you know, we're a very big country. So, what grows here where I am in Victoria won't grow in the Northern Territory.
mm-hmm,
So there'll be different indigenous plants to that area that do certain things. So it's really understanding and learning the area that you're in.
That's good. Now, talk of learning. I was going through the internet and I came a book that has your name on it, and I was asking myself, "What's the magic?"
Yeah, that's an
Now,
old book I've written.
that's an old one. Has it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
it got has it got anything to do with what we are talking about today?
Look, it does a little bit. It
Yeah.
actually explores a whole lot of health myths. And
Mm,
so, by reading the title, you might think this is a weight loss book. It actually started out as a weight loss book, and it more morphed as I was writing it into breaking down myths. So things like, what the media is telling you, what society tells you, what you tell yourself. And so that really is the key to weight loss. And I
mm,
know some of your listeners probably viewing this going, how can she talk about weight loss? She's kind of a bit chunky. I love who I am from
yeah.
within.
Mm-hmm.
So I see myself as a really skinny, fit, healthy person. That's how I
Yeah.
see myself.
Uh-huh.
What you see cosmetically has no, uh, I guess, no existence in my world because
Okay.
it doesn't matter. It's just cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, I am fit and healthy.
Mm.
And, so it's loving yourself skinny. And that's really what it's all about. How you feel about you, Matt, is what matters, not what other people think they see.
Wow. I'm gonna mention about now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna mention about this joke someone was making, and I was like, I mean, he took it like from the statement that you just made, because I've heard other people say that I'm inside, I am skinny, and so he says, from today, I'm gonna be saying, don't look at me and think that I am poor or broke. Inside, I am very rich.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
the same thing that you're telling us now. Um, how can people learn about this, about going back to the roots and curing them or preventing the illnesses and the diseases that come from consuming cosmetic products, I mean synthetic?
Well, cosmetic as well, because, let's just quickly mention lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a lip gloss here
Okay.
and it's natural. Okay. It's made from beeswax and plants. I'm going to put this on my lips and I'm going to ingest it and it's not going to do me any harm.
Okay.
If I was using like a really bright lipstick and putting that on my lips, every time I lick my lips or I eat something or I drink something, I'm ingesting it and it's doing me harm.
Mm,
So, cosmetics can be quite a pitfall. So I just wanted to say that.
mm,
But, how can people get started? Well, they can contact me. I have my website, and people can send through something and say, hey, how do I detox my home and my lifestyle? And we'll have a discussion, and they might be candidates for the functional detox. Or, they might just start by going to the library and looking for books, or looking on Amazon or wherever you find your books, and looking for books on what grows in my area. Why does it grow in my area? So, there's lots of information there. There's lots of practitioners out there who do it. Of course, I would love your listeners to contact me and we can get you started on some programs. But there is a lot of free information out there as well. So on my website, all my socials are listed, and there's often blogs up there about, how to reduce toxicity or how to go back to learning the old ways. And there's also a lot of groups around that's what they do. They explore the old ways. I'm number of in a number of groups here in Australia that do just that.
mm.
So, there's a lot of information. We have an abundance of information now and an abundance of practitioners willing to help you. So get in touch.
Yeah, so get in touch with Magic Barclay. And I'm wondering, do you kind of have another book, or maybe do you have lists of what I can use to find out? yourself? Do you?
Yeah, I've actually written 4 books.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything is listed on my website.
Your
Um,
website is.
so it is www.holisticnaturalhealth.com.au. That's holistic with a W. So we treat with holism, the whole body, the whole life, the whole home, the whole. And so yeah, you'll find all of our podcasters on there, the books, our products. So we've just launched our essential oil range. So we have functional health blended essential oils, and so there's a shop there, and you'll find our blogs, our socials, everything's in there.
Okay, to anybody out there who's wondering, how do I find out all this information? Magic has written about it. Magic has talked so much about it. You better go and learn more from Magic. So once again, go to her website, which is www.holisticnaturalhealth.com.au. And I'm always asking myself, why does the extension for a Australia always use a .com and then au? I don't know. It
Like
makes
any
it
country, they abbreviate, tack it
yeah.
on the end.
Sorry, it makes the address longer.
It
Yeah.
does, but
Hmm.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, but it's always good that every time I see that, I don't have to ask you, where are you from? Okay, that's good. Now, um, we are just about to come to the end of this show, but before we go, we always ask our guests to leave us with a few words that we can always remember. Which are they for you?
Wow. Well, that's a really good question. Okay, so learn to love yourself, learn to respect yourself, and learn to be your own best health professional, because nobody lives within your body. Nobody deals what you deal with day to day. So really have health professionals that are there as part of your team supporting you. You don't want to be saying, okay, please tell me what to do. I have no idea. Because do you know what? They don't live in your body. And that's something I learned on my own journey, and something I hope other people take with them.
Hmm. Yeah, we always say that this is the only body that you've got, and you've got to take it with you wherever it is that you go. So why not take good care of it every single day, so that
Exactly.
it can take care of you to the end of life. Yeah, we really appreciate you and taking your time. So let me ask you, what's in the future? What are your thoughts? What are you planning? What are you dreaming of?
So in the future for me, I want to get onto some land, and I want to, be quite self-sufficient. That's what I'm dreaming of. That's what I'm planning. That's what I'm working towards. But for now, I'm in a regional town. I love where I live. I'm with my gorgeous family, so I'm truly blessed. And I have wonderful clients, and I really love what I do. So definitely get in touch on the website, because I'd love to be able to help you as well, your listeners, whoever's seeing this. And yeah, I love what I do. It's what I do every day, and it's what I apply in my own life.
Yeah, and if you love what you do, you'll never work for a single day for the rest of your life.
True.
Yeah. So that's it for today, everyone. We thank you for taking your time to watch this. Even if you get to watch it or listen to it after we are through, we really appreciate you taking your time and going through it. Remember to share it with all your friends, to remind ourselves that we can always treat the root cause, not the symptoms, because many of us, not, I mean, it's not many, it's the majority of us always treat the symptoms rather than find out the root cause and work on it. So, once again, Magic, we thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Yes. This has been Now Tell Us. I have been your host, Anthony Morore, and together with our guest today, Magic Barclay, we are saying bye for now. Take care of your body and your environment and live well. Bye.